We are 435 acres. We grow arable crops, just integrated an orchard into the farm, and we've also let out the ground for potatoes. We grow winter wheat for distilling, spring barley, malting barley for the whisky industry, and spring beans for the human consumption market. Our aims for the arable side of the business is to grow profitable crops. So our spring barley is on malting barley contracts with MSP. Our winter wheat is sold each year into shop pools, and our beans will either go for human consumption or they will go for animal feed, fish feed. So the current EECS environmental measures we have in the farm, all the fields have a 6 metre wild species flower mix around them. We have water margins, we have wild bird cover mixtures that are resown every year, and we use the 10 hectares worth of green manure we put in, so that's a field that's taken out of production each year for cash crop, and instead there's a green manure cover crop mixture put in. Environmental sustainability in Castleton, we have to engage with the insects and the biodiversity you have in your farm, because some of them are actually your friends, because they will eat the pests that cause problems on your farm. But we also need to look after our environment, because if we don't look after the margins or even the soil that we grow from, that the crops grow in, we will get reduced yields, and that just leads to a whole host of problems in the future. For the last 30 years we've had no livestock until 2-3 years ago I brought in sheep to graze on cover crops that are sown over in winter, and I see that as part of the arable system rotation. It can only be better for us, and also potentially reduce our need for artificial fertilisers.
5 years ago, last month, we decided to diversify into a coffee house. We started with coffee and cake, and since then we've grown it to be able to offer more brunch, breakfast, lunch, followed by the coffee and cake as well. So we're keeping our roots strong, and we are welcoming around about 100,000 visitors a year.
Why did Stuart apply for being a monitor farmer? It's to do something good for myself, for the farm, for the wider network of farmers in Scotland and throughout the UK. It's all about knowledge transfer, speaking to the professionals. We can do so much on the farm, but there's also so much knowledge out there that we can tap into.
Not all of our customers know that we're a working farm, and so for me it's really important that our customers do know that. And so what I'm hoping through the Monitor Farm experience is that we can maybe trial different grains to grow. I'd love to be able to grow grains for flour, for example, that we can use in our own bread or baked goods, and really sell that story, reduce that carbon footprint. The introduction of farm tours as well is going to be vital to that. And I think if we've got more growing on the farm that people can see as being used at drift, it's going to actually interest them a bit more.
Our goal at the end of the 4 years for Castleton will be to improve our output of yield for our arable crops, but that's with a blended approach from livestock grazing, reduced inputs, especially reduced artificial inputs. What can we do to reduce our pesticide usage? So there will be trials that we will come on to that we can do here. For Drift, our coffee house, Joe is wanting me to grow heritage variety wheats and barley that we can make into flour so we can supply into Drift. Also, we're looking at trialling liquid fertiliser against granular fertiliser on the wheat, and we'll have a look at that for the barley as well. And also looking at how we can reduce our herbicide usage by bringing in hoes and rakes to try and take out the weed seedlings. Long-term objectives in Castleton, I would say, is livestock integration, be more efficient with sheep, be more efficient with what the sheep can graze to benefit the following cash crop. We vary our tyre pressures with compaction. We have a drain drill now, and we are moving away from the traditional plough-based or harrow-based system to a min-till stroke strip tillage drilling system. future of farming at Castleton and Scotland and the Scottish wider farming network is we are going into a huge transition period with the Scottish Government, a new policy coming through. So we need to look at our environmental measures that we do. I'm looking forward to some of the barley and some of the wheat contracts that are actually coming out. Do we change much from what we're doing at the moment? I'm not sure, but it's all there for discussion. And we are there to make our bottom line better and hopefully make bottom lines better for everyone else in Scotland.